This is Valerie VanBooven with the Senior Care Industry Podcast, where leaders with 3 or more years of experience in the senior care industry share their advice and wisdom. It's 6 questions in 9 minutes, so let's get to it. And we are so lucky to have Morgan with us today. So in a few...
Yeah, great. Thank you for having me. So I'm with Maintain Me Senior Services, and I'm actually the director. And I have been with Maintain Me for about 4 years. And Maintain Me does a few different things in the aging space. So we have a case management program that is private pay, and we really tailor that with the care plan to the individual's needs. And we also have a transition program. So we help people identify what their care needs are in person. As soon as that's safe again, we use other means now, like video conferencing, identify what their needs are, and do a social assessment, a financial assessment, and a physical assessment. So we want to take the whole person into account when we are helping them identify what their best situation is going to be to meet their care goals, their personal goals, their wellness goals, and live the best life that they can, even with a disease or a dementia, whatever may be holding them back from being able to provide their own support and getting that care they need. So Maintain Me is locally owned and operated too, which is really great. We are working in our community for our community members. We are not a big franchise. We're not a chain. We're just here for the people.
And tell us what your local area is.
So we're in Denver, Colorado, and we cover the entire metro area. So from Longmont to Castle Rock, basically.
Great. That's awesome. Okay. So here comes some wisdom questions. What's the best thing about serving aging adults?
Well, that's personal for me. My grandparents were my caregivers. They did my daycare. They made sure I got to and from school every day while my parents worked. They lived within walking distance. Even for a little person, I could independently walk to their house, and I frequently did. So I spent a lot of time growing up learning from them everything from life and death to how to cook, how to cut hair, how to wrap presents. So I just grew up with a big spot in my heart for older adults, and now I'm in a position where I can help them. So, it's fun. It's just fun to learn and glean so much from their sage wisdom.
I totally agree with you. And you are so lucky to have been able to grow up with an extended family so close. And that it really does make a difference, I think, all the way across the country. It's really nice. Okay.
It takes a village.
It does. It really does. All right. This is a little bit of a transition. I hear from other senior service providers that marketing online is challenging. It's a little confusing. It's ever changing, which is for sure. What are your experience and thoughts, especially in the environment we're in right now?
For Maintain Me, it's always been a priority presence. So we actually have someone that we've hired specifically to do that for us. We have an office manager. So one of her hats is taking our blog posts and our success stories and our pictures and ideas, and she formats them into a mailer that we put on Facebook, LinkedIn. We send directly to our contacts, so that we have lots of different touch points at any given time. And our experiences has been that it is not a one and done type of thing. It requires effort, and it's almost like a pet you have to care for it each day, give it food and water, and really be involved. It isn't something to take lightly if you really want to have a web presence. And it is changing, and you just got to be ready to go with the flow. And okay, that didn't work. Let's try something else.
You're exactly right. Yeah, I've never heard it described. It's like a pet, and you know what? That is exactly right. It is a pet, and the more accounts you have, the more pets you have. So that's right. Okay. Back to wisdom a little bit. There are other successful leaders in the senior care industry like yourself, and you probably mentors or people that have made a difference in your life professionally. Who would you like to recognize or give a shout out to, whether it's groups or individuals? Who's made a difference?
Yeah, my first shout out goes out to Arthur Lowry. He is the CEO of Amazing Care Home Health, and he gave me my first opportunity in this industry, and it has shaped my career. Amazing Care focuses on serving Medicaid primarily. So he created this really successful agency. He's up to, I think, 4 different locations across the Denver metro area, all serving the underserved. So that was my foundation, is really trying to reach the populations that maybe it's harder for them to access services. They have less resources. They have maybe less family. And so he's been instrumental in so many ways. My next shout out would be to Rick Zeek. He's the owner of Home Helpers here in Denver, Home Helpers of Denver. And I met him very early in my career as well. We became fast friends, but he also has just been an incredible mentor and really showed me what hard work and perseverance can do when you're really trying to do the right thing. There may be ups and downs, but as long as you're doing the right thing like he does, and his agency is very successful, and I can always call him and say, hey, I got a client and he's ready to help. And same with Ryan Fensler with Touching Hearts at Home, the Englewood office. He, for free, helped me pro bono get 2 women from Denver to their new home in La Junta. And he said, well, Morgan, I'm just going to show up with my car and I'm going to load them up and we're going to take them down there. We're going to take good care of them. And we set up their beds and made sure they got to their first meal, and he didn't want a dime. He just wanted to do the right thing. My last shout out is to the geriatricians and the social workers and the whole entire team at Senior Health First. They are primary care in Lakewood. They also have one in North Denver, but every single person in the office goes above and beyond for the patients. They are creative and innovative. They have a lot of wraparound services. They have follow through. They want to know when they send me a referral what's going on. They're incredible. They have taught me so much about my job just for how they deliver primary care to older adults.
Wow, that is so nice. You did a great job. And I know that especially when you serve a big, diverse population in a big metro area, there's so many people that help. So thank you for giving those folks a shout out. I'm sure they appreciate it, and I know we do too. All right, so what piece of advice would you give other senior care providers?
The number one piece of advice that I would give is to be humble and expect change. So we may find ourselves in a situation where X, Y, and Z fit perfectly. But here we are maybe 2 years down the line with a similar type of situation, and the circumstances for maybe delivering the care, what care is needed, or what options are out there are completely different. So if we're set in our ways, we know how to do it better than anybody else, and this is the way things are going to go, then we're going to likely miss something for that unique individual. So just be humble, be ready to look at other options, and just embrace unique circumstances.
That is great advice. Being humble. I hear that a lot from our interviewees, and be true to the core of your business and what you do, and Be ready to change. That is definitely the case. All of us have learned that the last few months. Change is inevitable. Okay, so when you and your team or your family, personal, professional, when you have a win in life, how do you celebrate?
Yeah, that's easy. We celebrate. So if on our team, we love to do success stories, and success doesn't mean that we collected a paycheck for our efforts with a client. Success means that we have a client on the other end of our services who feels informed and they made a confident decision on their own behalf or the behalf of their care partners that really fits them. So when we have a success, it could be we have a client who wanted to die in his own bed, and we made sure that he could do that. So some may see that as, oh my gosh, but he died. Well, it's a success. He died. We helped him do it the way he wanted to.
That's right.
We like to write success stories. We like to share those out to the community. We like to have happy hour and get together and just really celebrate life in general, because there's so much goodness. And if you just get bogged down all the time, then you miss that. So in my personal life, getting outside, anytime I can get outside and spend time with my husband, it's a celebration in itself and keeps me going.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Morgan Jenkins with Maintain Me. We will put all of your information up here with your interview. You did an excellent job. Thank you so much for being on our quick show. We appreciate you and all that you do for the folks in Denver. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful opportunity. Thank you.